I think that's important. A lot of people don't work their money. They just use it for whatever. I mean, if you don't have it, you don't have it.
Right.
If you're working every paycheck to paycheck and raising your family, great. I mean, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
That's great. But, you know, you got to be frugal in certain ways. But you also got to keep your eye open for a business opportunity or some way of working your money to turn it over all the time.
Yeah. Absolutely. You know, I used to be very bad. I was a little bit of a business junkie, okay, as far as different businesses and things like that. And finally, my son, he took some classes, and he told me, he said, "Dad, you're not doing what you're supposed to do." He said, "You got too many things going on."
Right.
And that was easy to do.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I had a game store. I had different things. I had stuff that I thought, well, what in the world? And you know, and I was getting too many. And you can do that sometimes.
Too many irons in the fire.
Yeah, and then it just didn't. But I think when we talk about finances, it's important. And, you know, you got to be so careful with debt. Okay?
Absolutely.
Or you'll find yourself just being a bookkeeper.
Yeah, and a slave.
That's exactly. One time I was going to put an AT&T franchise in here in Tazewell. And I had the deal done, paperwork done. Had the lease on the building, painted it that orange and white. Had the shelving. It was right down here at the railroad tracks. I went in, got everything ready to go.
Right.
And got the contract in from AT&T. I got to read it. And I said, you know, it looks to me like that you guys are going to be able to sell phones to people cheaper than I can sell phones to people. And I said, yeah. I said, it seems like I'm in competition with the people that I'm paying.
Right.
They said, yeah. I said, I don't think I'm going to do this. No. They said, well, you've already got the building. I had the internet, had the power done, had people lined up to work. And I said, but right now, I know how much money I'm going to lose.
Right.
But I think 2 years from now, I won't be able to figure it out.
No.
I said, so right now, where I didn't go to college, you know, I should have went, but I didn't go. But I don't know if it made that much difference.
Right.
But I mean, I said, I didn't go to college, so I'm going to write this college education, X amount of dollars. This is how much it cost me.
Right.
And I'm going to turn, and I went back. Jack Harris, who I rented off of, I went back and said, Jack, this is a deal I run into, and I'm going to lose if I do this. He said, John, that's just fine. He let me out of that. Within one day, I had the power turned off, the internet turned off, the lease turned in, shut it all down, and knew exactly how much money I lost. But I said, that's the way sometimes, because you'll get into business and get into stuff, and it just keeps sucking at you. And I don't know I don't know how truck driving worked for you. I don't know how that worked.
It's kind of like what you're explaining, you know. It was our truck. You own your own truck. You know, sometimes everything was good, but there was a lot of times, if you had a lot of break, that old truck, I always said, and every trucker will tell you that old truck knows when you got money in the bank. It does. Every time something will go wrong. I think you're living good trucking, like an independent owner operator. You do well, better than most jobs around. Right. Everybody told me I was crazy for leaving that job at the coal mines to go trucking. Best decision I ever made, in my opinion. Right. I felt better, enjoyed it more. You know, it was one step closer to getting me to the farming to where I am today. You know? Just how life works, the decisions you make. But you know, we done okay until you start having a lot of breakdowns. Then you're just turning money over. Right. You're just turning the same money over. It looks good, but you're not making any money.
You can turn $1 million a year and not make money.
No, sir, that's exactly right.
And just be bookkeeping.
Yep. Be a hired bookkeeper for yourself.
All you're doing is bookkeeping. You really can. Well, I tell you what, I appreciate Joe being with me, and I hope you all enjoy just from the shed. We're in the shed. Fancy background. We've got a lot of stuff going on.